Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. If this is your first time being here, welcome. If you've watched my videos before, thank you so much for clicking on this video again. I really appreciate it. I hope that I have been helping you in the past with healing things. Let me know in the comments if there's any videos or any topics you want me to make a video about. But today we're going to be asking the cards, what are you holding against other people? So this is not really an easy thing to recognize within ourselves, so I like to use the cards to help. And I also want to say that oftentimes I find healing myself by listening to these readings, if that I make myself. I also listen to other people on YouTube too, as well. If you want me to name them, let me know in the comments. I'll definitely throw some names out there of people who inspire me. But for right now, we are going to be talking about what you're holding against other people. And I already organized the piles here, and I chose to use the animal. Let me get the deck here. The Messages from Your Animal Spirit Oracle Cards by Stephen D. Farmer. I did a review on this deck. If you are interested in going through it and seeing all the cards and what it's about, I have that video on my channel. Otherwise, let's get started. We have Penguin for pile 1, Rattlesnake for pile 2, and a Roadrunner for pile 3. So let's get into pile 1. Alright, so for pile 1, I just wanted to feel the energy of this pile before I get into the cards. I don't look at the cards unless I flip the top one over. I pretty much just ask the question over and over again and let spirit pick the cards for me intuitively. I'm feeling like a stalemate, like two people butting heads, and they can't come to a conclusion. This is the Penguin one, so maybe in your relationship you're experiencing being frozen or being afraid to put your truth out there. The reading is, what are you holding against people? And what are you holding against other people? So it seems like it's some kind of judgment or some kind of illusion or perspective that keeps you from speaking your truth. Okay, so we have the Penguin card here, and underneath it, it says, the period of darkness you've been experiencing is now passing. So I think if you have been experiencing maybe this part of your life where maybe you aren't inviting people in and people aren't really wanting to come in, it's okay. I assume that this darkness that you've been experiencing has just been going within, facing that dark night of the soul, and you're coming out this new person that you've never been before. And so that might be scaring some people around you, or it might be scaring you. You feel like you're becoming this best version of yourself, and you want these people to accept you. And my spirit guides are saying something to me right now that's making me kind of feel like I want to tear up inside. If they were able to love you at your worst, they will love you at your best. That's making me cry. I'm experiencing some healing here myself. Because I wasn't always a reader. I wasn't always trying to give advice for people's highest good, and I didn't always listen to my intuition. I used to be in a really dark place. But when I faced that darkness, I was very alone, and I had to do it alone because I didn't need other people's input. I needed to find myself. And so it seems like this deck, this card is saying that that time is now passing and we are healing now. So what are you holding against other people? I feel like part of it is worrying that they're going to accept you for this change. And according to the Spirit, they are. If they could love you at your worst, they will be able to love you at your best. Okay. Now let's see what the tarot card is that we picked. Temptation. Okay. So I would assume that this, well, this card stands for the devil in the tarot. So I would assume you were consumed in temptations, like substance abuse. And substance abuse doesn't have to be drugs. It can also be like food, or just any unhealthy habits that are not serving you. You could have acted a certain way towards these people. Maybe you felt like they didn't support you, or you didn't have help when you were going through this tough time. You know, it seems like she has all this money open here at this apple. She has this chest that's open, but she still is not finding love. She's still looking for it. She still feels out of sorts. So you knew that there was this deep healing that needed to happen because you had everything that you ever wanted and you were still unhappy. This could be talking about this period of darkness, and you may be holding something against people because maybe they didn't help you the way that you were hoping that you would be helped. Like you kind of had to go through it alone. You may have some resentment about having to go through it alone, but know that the universe is saying that it was meant to be. It had to be this way. You know, you had to go through this time of being alone to truly find yourself. You had to strip away those fronts, those layers, those old ways of being, to be that pure self that you always have been, but you were just afraid of putting out there. So let's see here. We got some more cards. We have new beginnings, starting a new life, finding your purpose, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past. So very important here. And I see like it looks like the silhouettes of a young child, mom, dad, and older child. So it could be that you are reuniting with your family now, or you're actually trying to put yourself out there and you feel like something is still holding you back, and that's why you're here. You're trying to create, maybe you had to break those old bonds for a little while, and now you want to create this new beginning with your family. And I feel like this card is signifying that it can happen, but with them being in the darkness, and in the mountains, it seems like you still have a trek, you still have a mission, you still have to get there. If someone in your life is willing to just forgive you and move forward, that is such a blessing, okay? But if you hurt a couple people like really deeply, they may not be so inclined to just forgive and forget and move on. So there may be some times where you are going to have a challenge proving that you are not that old person anymore. You're not trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes. This temptation here, or this devil card here, kind of shows that maybe you had extremely difficult internal state and you put it out there into the world on the people that loved you and accepted you, and you didn't realize what you were doing. I want to read, I have some reference cards here that help me to remember if I forget something. And I just want to read about this new beginning. It stands for the Judgment card here. Okay, this is talking about you being on your life mission, following your heart, you're doing your internal calling, and you can't ignore that you want to be this new person anymore. Okay? You maybe at one point you were not self-aware and you felt safe being on an old path, but no longer. Okay? And then this temptation card here, the devil, okay? This came up because you ended up confronting what you were hiding, and you created this vulnerability about yourself. You conjured it up, and you asked yourself questions that you normally wouldn't ask. You had to confront your bad habits and ask, why am I doing these bad habits? And you've reclaimed your power, and you've reevaluated your expectations of life. And people that haven't done this, it seems very daunting and like frightening. Like, what have they discovered that I'm missing? Okay, so I'm getting the message to make sure that when you go talk to these people and you create these new relationships, that you're not thinking that you are better than them, because you're not better than them. You have healed, so now you can teach others to heal. Okay, it is just like a doctor going to university to become an actual doctor and help people. Okay, your ego needs to be under control, which this devil card can represent. You're not better than them. You can be proud of all the work that you've gone through, but at the end of the day, okay, I'm seeing wings here. Even this bird, flightless bird, has wings. It's time for you to spread these wings. Like, I'm getting a butterfly image. So you were this caterpillar, and then in this dark place that you were in the cocoon, and now you have come out. Maybe you are sitting on the branch drying your wings, like a butterfly does, and you're waiting for the right time to take off. And I think this reading is saying that once you realize that what you're holding against other people really is just this uncertainty, if they're going to accept you for this new version of yourself. And the universe is saying, have you fully accepted that you've changed? Have you fully looked back at who you used to be and who you are now? And they're telling me Facebook memories. So look up your memories. Maybe there was a time back in 2013 or something that you said something on there and you're like, wow, I would never say something like that today. That would not be my perspective. And then you quickly want to delete it. Okay, you can delete it. There's nothing wrong with that. But going through that, seeing how you used to act versus how you would take that situation now, that's a confirmation of how much that you've truly changed. So let's keep pulling some more cards. All right, we have 7 of Raphael and the King of Ariel and the 10 of Michael. Okay, so before I even read the cards, I see this thing that's happening here. So it seemed like they're at the well, so they're purifying their energy. They're deciding how they want their life to go from this moment on. They're no longer letting the past hold them back. And for this guy, I say, look, there's a better way out there. We don't have to just focus on what is. We can move forward and see what else is out there. We can change our lives. Like, you're trying to show how much you've accomplished and how much you feel like in power now. And then with the 10 of Michael here, you're giving a bow. You finally have taken all the layers off to become the person that you really want to be. Here's a ballerina. You've done the dance. You've gone through, you've done the work. And I think that this is extremely important confirmation for you that you have done this. But also, there could be some energy holding against what you're holding against other people. Could be that, like, maybe they haven't been through this yet, or you're standing here at the door, for example, or the window, and you're saying, come on, let's do this together. And they're like, no, no, I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know if I should do it. That energy there, you're like, but don't you trust me? You know, I was in this dark place, and now I'm in this light place, and you don't want to come to the light with me? You're afraid? You know, that energy. I'm not sure exactly the hesitancy. Um, you could be holding that against people who do not want to follow this path. And I can understand that, because you love these people that you had relationships with in the past, your friends, your family, and you love them, and you just want them to be better. You just want them to be happy. You just want to fix all of the problems, because you figured out the formula to fix problems, about healing here at the well, about purifying your energy and looking for a brighter day. Um, I'm seeing these swans here, and they're giving me that ugly duckling message there, that maybe once upon a time you were this ugly duckling, and now you've changed into this beautiful swan. And it can be kind of intimidating. People might not know what to think. Okay? And the cards here, I'm seeing your plans are working out very well. Okay? And here this says, a situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. Okay? Definitely you are recognizing those moments in your life, or those knots that you need to untie to feel free around these people. I'm definitely getting the message that there's one person who is a very close friend of yours, who was there for you through thick and thin when things were really tough, and you've been apart, and you've kind of been figuring your own lives out by yourself. Maybe you've been talking to them a little bit here and there, but I'm getting the message that that relationship will reconcile, will get mended by itself if you just keep like put yourself out there and show them that you are thinking about them by maybe sending them a couple messages or something. So let's move on to the last two cards here. We have Archangel Michael and Divine Timing. So Archangel Michael is a protective archangel. You see he has the sword here. He also is very prominent, I would say, in the archangel world. I feel like he can do a lot of things, a lot of different things. And I always notice that when you're working with one angel, they often recommend Archangel Michael comes in and assists with the healing. For example, if you're working with Archangel Raphael, and you're doing a healing, energy healing meditation or something, Archangel Michael can come in and help make it even more, even stronger. I remember doing a meditation many years ago, which I still do it once in a while, but when they first channeled it to me, they called it their magic eraser. And when I would try to clear my chakras, I would feel that there was still blocked areas, and they would come through with their hands, or with their energy. They call it the magic eraser, and they would just, kind of like a Reiki healer does, just clearing the energy for me in the certain areas where it was blocked. And Archangel Michael kind of like protected the session while Archangel Michael did the healing. I mean, I don't know exactly, but I'm just telling you from what I perceived from the times when it was happening to me. Um, Archangel Michael is definitely helpful for grounding situations. So maybe if you are going into this situation where you're trying to heal with someone, you can ask Archangel Michael to be there for you and to help you make it through that time of talking to that person, for example. And also the divine timing here, he's shooting, towards the future, towards the right. I would say that he is signifying that this is all going to change in divine timing, in perfect timing. The question we are asking is, what are you holding against other people? It seems like you're afraid of their judgment on you because you've done so much work, and you're afraid of what they're going to think about you. And so the divine timing aspect comes into play, where it's like, just keep being you and they will accept you for who you are. They're just uncertain right now. They're wondering if you're still stuck. Because when you go silent, or when you need extra time to yourself, you stop keeping up with the Joneses, for example. You stop doing the same thing everybody else does, and some people might view that as you are still hurting, you're still in trouble. But in this reading, it's saying that no, it's confirming you have done the work. It is passing, and in perfect divine timing, you will recreate new relationships with old friends, or new relationships with new friends and family. It's all going to work out. Okay, you have done the work. Take your bow, pat yourself on the back. So that is the end of the reading. Please consider liking and subscribing if this message helped you. I truly appreciate it. I'm up to 40 subscribers now. That's so amazing. It really is. When I started this, I didn't know what to expect. So I'm really grateful that many people are watching my videos. And again, love and light. Thank you so much. All right, pile 2. Immediately when I pulled up this deck, I got like this super happy feeling. And then I was getting like rattling, like the rattlesnake, but like music, like with a maraca or something, like a cool beat, and just happiness, and like dancing, like get out there and move your body and get your energy going. And you're giving me all this happy energy. What is happening here? I love it. Okay. So it's saying, what are you holding against other people? I don't know why. You seem like such a great, happy person. Let's read the card here. The experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. So did you just get some kind of degree or opportunity, or are things working out the way that you are hoping, and now you're feeling great about it? I'm imagining, or I'm seeing that in my head, the rattlesnake is like coiled up really tight, and it was like that for a long time, but now he's like spread out, and he feels so free. He is his long, snaky self. Okay, so maybe you've been doing some healing and you let go of some situation or some perspective that was really keeping you knotted up and hiding. And now you're feeling this energy that is just like, this is real. This is happening for me. Okay. I'm also seeing a necklace. So maybe like some kind of jewelry, some kind of like medal award. Um, let's see what else am I feeling about this. I know it's the rattlesnake, but I'm feeling the desert. And like I see mountainous desert, but then there's like a big lake. If you ever watched Ghost Town Living, I'm like seeing that, but the lake is actually still there and not dried up. And there's just like, for a long time you felt like, where am I going? What is happening? Is this even the right thing? Um, but now, like, you see this lake in the distance and you're like, yes, an oasis. It's finally happening for me. Okay, so let's see what other cards here, because our question here is, what are you holding against other people? And the universe just said opportunities. So maybe you are mad because other people were not giving you the opportunities that you felt like you needed. And they're questioning right now, did you ever put it out there to them that you would like their help in this situation? Or are you just hoping that they're going to read your mind? So let's see what else we got going on here. That's very interesting messages we got. For the tarot, we have the High Priestess. Okay, so that is most definitely going to be talking about the higher self. Okay, and your relationship with your inner world. So I'm like looking into her eyes and I'm feeling like fear, like terrified. Like maybe your inner child has been so scared or is still scared, but on the outside you're trying to act like everything's okay. Um, the snake, will just be until you threaten it, and then it'll come out and bite. Um, so I'm getting the feeling like the inner world that you're experiencing, when it comes out into the outer world, it's feisty. Okay. Um, so this card is about like more awareness, becoming more aware of yourself. But if it's also if it's reversed, it can say that you're not listening to yourself, um, or that you're being superficial. So you think that what matters is what people see on the outside and not what's on the inside. Or it could be that you need to do more work recognizing what's on the inside and how it makes you feel, or how the inside projects outside. Okay, it's not that you're not in control, it's just that you're like disconnected. And it could be because you're going through this phase of switching from being this tight, coiled up snake into this long, more relaxed beast. I'm seeing the image of the snake like when it's eating its tail. And I think that's some kind of like initiation thing. I need to read more about that. But also like a cycle, symbol of cycle, or what goes around comes around, birth and death, karma, like that kind of thing. Like everything that you've been doing, all the work you've been doing is going to show itself on the outside in its best light. But so whatever you're holding on to against other people, it definitely has to do with listening to yourself or not listening to yourself, or hiding your true self versus putting your fake self out there. And it's not your fake self, it's just the self that you've created to feel more fit in to society instead of being unique and feeling misunderstood. Which, as we grow older, we realize it's better to be unique, even if we are misunderstood. And I feel like as a child, when you're unique, it's hard to express why you're unique, or, express why you like things with confidence. And as we get older, it starts to get easier. So let's see what we got here. 2 of Michael. It will all be better if you just make a decision, over analyzing a problem, find a compromise. Okay. So over analyzing a situation, over analyzing a problem, when it's talking about holding on to things from what are you holding against other people? Maybe you were this unique person, because the unicorn stands for uniqueness. Maybe this you had a friendship or something, and you just stopped talking to each other, and both of you probably have thoughts on either side that is kind of butting heads, and that's why you don't want to talk. And it seems like it's just a misunderstanding. So if you were to actually go talk to them, things might be better, but at the same time, you might feel like you just don't want to repair that relationship. Like you didn't get anything from it to begin with, so why even um, finish it or fix the misunderstanding? But I will say, if you are still thinking about it after all this time, it could be that you need closure. So let's see what else we got here. Perspective. Yes, it's all about perspective. Okay, I'm getting the message that maybe you needed help and this person was not there for you, and you're holding that against them. But, it could be, rejection is God's protection, as they say. So it could be that this person just couldn't help you. That was just how it was. And the universe may have made it that way. I mean, maybe you tried to call them and they didn't answer, and you've never forgiven them for that. But the truth was, the universe had them busy at that time so that you guys couldn't communicate, because they wanted you to handle this problem by yourself. When we're going through this healing phase, when we're learning about our higher self, it is extremely important that we are trying to change our perspective, and trying to stand in other people's shoes. It seems like this was a time when you were trying to develop your own perspective of the world, and your higher self here was present in this situation, and it just got all jumbled up and confused. And like I was saying with the snake, you got tied up in a ball, and you were hiding. You felt threatened, maybe. We have strength and grace through kindness. Okay, so I'm feeling like you need to look at the past with this new perspective, you see, because they're looking back. But also, things could have changed now. Things could have changed in their lives. They may know things now that they didn't know then, and it may help you guys to come to some kind of conclusion. It's funny because in all 3 of these cards, it looks like the sun is setting. Okay, so it could be the end of something, the end of some kind of cycle or a transition. Even in this card, the sun is setting. So Michael is saying here, this situation does not serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. Yes. So this time it might be different. If you go back and try to talk to them and be friends again, it may be different. And I'm seeing that he's holding this hose in his hand. I feel like you could be in control this time. You'll be more in control of yourself. Maybe before you were still going through this, well, you still are going through this initiation to being a healer, but maybe you were just not as far along as on this path. And maybe there's some kind of illusion that's keeping you stuck. Maybe this person that you're having a difficulty with, or it could be people, a group of people, whatever. Maybe these people weren't on the path as well. And so they were stuck in their own perspective and unable to change. And maybe that's what caused you the stress in the beginning, where you're like, I'm trying to change my perspective. I'm open to getting other people's perspective. What can we create and generate together with all these ideas? And they chose to not have any new ideas. They chose to stay rigid. That could cause you a lot of stress too. But each person is in control of their own mind, in control of their own body. And maybe this is something that you've had to learn, and so that you were able to release this grudge or this energy that you were holding against them. They don't have to be like you. And when we're healing, we want to heal everybody. We see someone suffering and we want to help them. And we're like, well, if you do this with your energy and spirits, and they're like, what are you talking about? I don't know anything about metaphysical alternative healing. I go to the doctor and take pills. And you're like, no, 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 don't do that. Okay. And then they, it's that energy that I'm feeling. Like, you want them, because you can see the bigger picture, you can see how they can help, and then you guys can work together and this and that, and they don't see it. And I feel like that's the energy that you're holding against other people, is that, like, you feel that no one is ever going to be on your team. No one's ever going to want to work with you, but that's not true. Okay, we're seeing all these sunsets here. Remember when I had the vision of the desert with the oasis? It seems like you're coming to what you're looking for. You're getting there. You've walked through the desert for so long, and now in the distance you see the possibility of this healing taking place. So you may want to go back and talk with that person again. You don't have to make it about healing them. You don't have to make it about being a team of healing. You can just make it about being neighbors and living in the same neighborhood. And personally, to me, that sounds like gag me with a spoon. Because I love healing. I love talking about this stuff. I love talking about how my guides speak to me and the universe and all that. But I don't have to have that relationship with everyone. If I could, I would. But each person is in charge of their own lives and what they choose to believe and what they choose to do with it. And you can love a person for just being them. Okay, they don't have to agree with you. They don't have to live the same type of lifestyle as you. And this is this healing that I recognized maybe a year or so ago, that you can have. There's strangers, there's acquaintances, there's friends, there's best friends, and there's family. And blood or not, family's family. You know what I mean. You can do anything for those people, and they'll do anything for you back. Otherwise, they're just a friend. They're just a best friend, okay? But there's also another group in there, and I call them neighbors, because they're people that you're around, but you don't really have a choice. I feel like this fits in between friends and acquaintances, because acquaintances can be just, that person that you see at the coffee shop that you know because you always get coffee from them, but it never goes any farther than that. A neighbor can be someone that you see more often than that coffee shop person. They know what your yard looks like, they know your dog, they know your kids, they know your family life, but you don't ever go over to their house, they never come over to your house, you never go out as friends. So there's that in-between relationship that I have trouble with. because it used to be either I don't want like you and I don't want to talk to you, or you're my best friend, let's do everything together. I never realized that there's levels of boundaries until I had a child. I didn't realize, like, you don't just invite anyone over to your house. You have to create this trust between two people, and then you can move forward. So I kind of rambled there, but I feel like that was really important. And I'm seeing a whole bunch of twos here. Let me get my book out really quick. So it's saying in my book here that the twos, the twos stand for duality, choices, balance, and cooperation. So I definitely feel like that is extremely important when it comes to friends, when it comes to friendships, being balanced, being cooperative. Um, don't focus so much on what can I get out of this person, what can I give this person. Okay, try to have this calmness that's like, I just want to spend time with another human being, um, and focus on what interests that you have together. It's not that you need to change someone, because we are healers, but leave the healing for your clients or for people that come to you and ask you directly for help. I know it's so hard because being a healer is this natural state of being, and you just want to help everything. I see a little earthworm on the sidewalk wrestling around trying to get back in the dirt, and I put that thing in the dirt. I'm that kind of person. It doesn't matter. I'm going to help whatever needs help. But people make their own choices, so they don't have to accept help. So let's see what else. We got two more cards here. We have enchantment. No way. You got the... Okay, so in this Archangel Doreen Virtue Tarot deck, there's only one unicorn card. And in this Doreen Virtue deck, there's only one unicorn card. And you got both of the unicorns. So I feel like this is a confirmation that you are unique and that your energy is enchanting. I got this, remember in the beginning, I got this like super happy, upbeat. I just want to dance and make music and just be myself. Just keep with that energy, and then you will attract others around you who also have that energy. Okay, if you go into a situation, like say you have dinner with friends or neighbors, and you just feel so out of energy and it's depressing and you don't have a good time, keep those people as acquaintances, as neighbors. Okay, you don't have to invite them into your home because they live near you. Okay, there is a boundary that you can create. If they're not going to match that super happy, high vibe energy, you don't have to invite them into your family, quote unquote. Okay, let's see what the other one is here. Miracles. All right, I'm seeing she's powerful. She has power. She knows how to take her power and put it out there. And this card is the same color as the High Priestess here. It's like a blue-green. So I definitely feel like this is coming from the heart chakra. I see dark blue here, so that's the throat chakra, and then some purple would be the crown chakra. I definitely feel like there could be like the turquoise for the third eye too. But it's like speaking your heart and knowing your heart. Okay, knowing what's best for you, and knowing your strengths, knowing when the situation is not for you. It seems like, well, the question here is, what are you holding against other people? It seems like what you're holding against other people is that they haven't accepted your uniqueness and they haven't accepted your help. And it's coming from a place of love. It's coming from a good place, and you're just confused. But again, we all have free will. So just keep being unique, and I feel like miracles will happen. You see, this is cool. I've never seen this before, but the perspective card here, he's like, it looks like he's like dropping something, and then it's falling down into her, and she's got it. So maybe as your perspective changes, if you surrender to what you believe now and believe that maybe there's another way of seeing things, maybe this miracles will happen. Maybe you will get to this new level of seeing relationships that, or how you're effective, how you affect relationships. Yes, I definitely feel like right now it's a time to focus on how you act with others, how you can collaborate, how you can balance a relationship out. But don't be too controlling. When you're trying to balance a relationship, it's not like, well, they did this something for me, so I have to do something for them, so then they have to do something for me. That it's too physical. But if you feel like that person's been doing a lot for you and you haven't been doing anything back, speak up about it and say, I feel like you've been doing so much for me lately. What can I do for you? How can I help you out? Okay, instead of just doing what you think you could do to help them, ask them. Okay, I feel like there's some kind of resentment that is being unsaid, untalked about. So again, this could be with one person, a group of people, whatever it is, you've got this. Okay, release, control, release this pent up energy and love and light. Pile 2. If this resonated with you, please consider subscribing and liking this video. I do appreciate you watching it. If you watched this all the way through, please leave a heart in the comments. I truly, truly appreciate your energy and your time, and I hope that I did give you the message that you're looking for. This reading did resonate with me as well. I think that there was a lot of good information in here. Love and light. Hello, pile number 3. You are the road runner. You chose the road runner. Maybe you are a road runner. Maybe you run on the road. Keep your sense of humor and don't take things too seriously. Well, there you go. I had a little bit of a witty little joke there about you being a road runner. Maybe you have the same kind of witty, bubbly, happy, optimistic outlook. And the universe is also saying maybe it wasn't always like that. Maybe you had to decide to be like that. Okay, but he's running this way. So I feel like you're running away from the past. Like, there's something happening in the past. Okay, I'm seeing jewels in the past, like a treasure. So maybe, like, you are going towards the past because that was what you perceived as better times. You miss how things used to be in the past. You want those people back. I know for me, it was like when my dad and my sisters and my mom, when they were still married, and we would all do things together. I remember us being in the same house together. And then I remember, me and my sisters playing, toys and stuff like that. And I wish I could go back to those times. Like I remember we used to have My Little Ponies, and we would use different boxes and other little trinkets and toys in the house, and we would make like My Little Pony houses, and we would sell stuff at our store. Like we'd have garage sale. We could go over to our friend's sister's house or whatever and buy something to put in our house. And it's careless, it's carefree, loving, fun energy of being a kid. And it's been too many years since I did that. I think my son's 5 now, 5.5, so I think I might need to do that with him today. Or one of these days here, we'll see. His room's pretty messy. We're going to have to clean that up. But yeah, so maybe you're like stuck in the past. And it doesn't mean you can't get unstuck. It just means maybe what you're holding against people has something to do with it used to be all great in the past. Why is it not great anymore? Or our relationship was so wonderful. What happened? I'm getting some tears in my eyes. So I feel like maybe you're experiencing this connection or this sadness that I am speaking of. So let's see what tarot card we have here to talk about this energy. Okay, we have the Lovers. So maybe you had the choice to move away. This definitely has to do with a relationship. I mean, the Love card literally stands for relationships. But it could be that in the past you were with someone who made a commitment. You made a commitment with them. And you looked through those rose-colored glasses, whether you meant to or not. Wow, I feel like I'm going to cry. I feel like really sad. My heart goes out to you if you feel the same way. This could be self-love, self-image. Maybe you used to look a certain way and something happened where you don't look that way anymore. Whatever this is, whatever you're holding against people, or you could be holding against yourself, whatever this energy that you're holding on to, it's like this innocent, your inner child who's still innocent is like, what happened? We were having so much fun and now it's not fun anymore. What happened? Where are all the people? Wow, that really, when I said that, the tears just welled up. So I'm hearing the song, Where is the Love? Where is the love, the love, the love? You know, your inner child you really need to do some healing here. Wow. It's a deep knot. If you would like to read into this more, obviously this reading will, but I also have a core wound reading that I just posted before this video, and it could be that this is resonating with your core wound, this reading. So definitely check out that pick a card reading as well. So what are you holding against other people? I don't know if it's that you're holding this against them. Maybe someone left you, or maybe you left. You just graduated, you moved out, and you just did the adult life. And maybe you regret not spending more time with those that you love, or maybe they haven't taken time to come see you. Whatever it is they're holding against people, it's on the outside. It's something that is happening on the outside for you. This could be in a relationship with someone else. You had some disharmony, imbalance, conflict, some confused energy, some shame. Okay, maybe you're comparing past relationships to this one, or to where you are now. And you're like, how do I get past this? How do I have unconditional love? You know, unconditional. Think about that word. Nothing can sway you from that. Unconditional. No matter what happens, I will always love you. I will always be there for you, no matter what happens. No matter what. Okay? And you need to imagine your inner child right now at maybe 5 years old. Okay? Because that's the age where we start realizing reality. Like, yeah, we're just a kid having fun at 4. But when you're 5, you start realizing that there's responsibilities and ways that you need to act and uphold yourself in society. And if you're not acting the right way that society deems appropriate, you can feel like something's wrong with you. Okay, so go back and hug that 5-year-old and say, I love you no matter what. There's nothing wrong with you. You are perfectly imperfect. You are just the person that you are supposed to be. You came into this life to change the world with your uniqueness. You change the world by changing each person's life. And the universe is saying that you are just on the cusp of understanding how you can change the world. But you have to put the past behind you. You can compare your level of worth, but do not ever settle for less than what you feel like you're worth in a relationship. So many times someone is extremely loving and giving in a relationship, and they're constantly giving and loving, and they do not receive. The person on the other side is just taking and taking and taking. I feel like that you're not worthy of that. You are worthy of a balanced connection. That's what this Lover's card talks about, is balance and commitment and unconditional love. So I feel like a very important message here is to be unconditional with your inner child. Be unconditional, have unconditional love for yourself first. Okay, and I personally am able to tap into that unconditional love very easily when I think about my sisters or when I think about my son. So let's move on. I just want to say one thing. It would be extremely hard for me to feel like I couldn't love my family or the people who are around me. So I think what you need to do is recognize that you do love, and sometimes the love comes out as pain. Sometimes when you feel loved, you just cry, and it confuses people, and they're like, but you're crying, you be smiling? But if you're an empath watching this, or you're a sensitive person, it's just so much energy coming through you that you just have to let it out. I just want to say one more thing before I pull these cards. When I was in high school, I got a car for my graduation present, which I normally don't. I normally didn't get these big lavish gifts. I mean, I had to get a job at 14 to pay for my cell phone. This was the first time in my life that I felt like I was heard, and that the gift that I wanted actually happened. Because it really did change my whole life. I was able to go places, and I was able to get a job farther away, and so much. But I actually cried and was laughing and crying and laughing and crying, and it was this emotion that I've never even felt before. And I think there's only 2 other times in my life that I felt that way. But it was like I was so happy that my body couldn't handle how happy I was, and I just started crying. So yeah, random story. Let's move on. Maybe that helped you somehow. So we have the Knight of Gabrielle. Okay, the knights are people who are putting things in motion. And in this case, I think Gabrielle, I gotta check in the book. So in the book, it's saying that the Knight of Gabriel, Gabriel is the wands. So taking action, having passion, having self-confidence. Yeah, confident, enthusiastic, courageous, charismatic. I feel like you need to have this energy moving forward to be able to stop looking in the past, and stop feeling this dreariness. Okay, you may need to envision how you want your future to look, how you want each day to go. And the knight, the king of Gabriel, more wand energy, generous, inspirational, dramatic, driven. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Leave the details to others. Experience that leads to success. Okay, genuine concern for others. We have a new emotional situation, messages regarding relationships or social invitations, and the Emperor. Stability, efficiency, taking charge of a situation, ambitious plans. So it seems like what you're holding against other people, it might not be what you're holding against them physically. You might not even realize this is happening. But it seems like your inner child feels like it was left behind, and it's like, when are we going to have fun again? When are we going to have this life that we imagined back then? So these cards here are saying that you can take charge of the action of the love that you give out there. Okay, let's write this plan. Let's revamp our future, what we want it to look like, how we want our relationships to be like. Let's create new expectations. Let's invite people into our lives. Maybe you need to envision the kind of friend that you want to have, the kind of boyfriend you want to have, girlfriend. What envision that kind of person that you want to be around, and then when you find them, you'll know it's right because it's the person that you envisioned with love and passion and joy in your heart. Okay, don't envision this person out of fear, envision it out of love. The Emperor here, stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation, ambitious plans. Okay, I'm just getting the feeling like he's here shining his light, and you can, and your friends or whoever you're trying to manifest can come to you and walk up these stairs and meet your light because they will match your light with their own light. Let's see what these two cards here. We have blessings and nature. So it could be, if you love spending time in nature, go in nature because maybe that's where the blessings will happen. Maybe you will meet this person in nature. I'm also getting the feeling like if you like to do something, like for example read a book, then go to the bookstore more often. You might find another bookworm there. And in this blessings card, the angel is spilling flowers on top of the whole city. So I feel like when they say, there's millions of fish in the sea, trust that the universe is going to help you find the one who is meant to be your best friend, or whatever commitment in love that you're looking for. And maybe your inner child's, well, hopefully your inner child's will come together, and play like how you used to play in the past, how you used to spend time with your family in the past. Maybe this person will also meet that expectations, that energy, because you've gone through this. They're showing me the page of Raphael. Okay, Raphael is the cups, so emotion and love. The page is newness. So I feel like she's sitting here meditating and thinking about what she wants. Very important for you to do that. And don't forget to shine your light so that everyone can see who you truly are. Don't hide behind mask of uncertainty and fear of making new friends. So love and light, pile 3. Thank you for watching. Please leave a heart in the comments if this resonated with you. I truly appreciate you watching this video. I felt so much heartbreak in the beginning of this reading, and I know just how it feels. So I really hope that you can change this energy so you're no longer holding on to unrealistic expectations and you're developing new ones. And one more message before I go. We were kids with no responsibilities, with smaller responsibilities than we have now. But now that we are adults, we can still find time to play. Love and light.